Very urgent. Your soulmate is about to say goodbye forever. Please don't ignore this. My child, I see you right now in this exact moment, and I know the weight you are carrying silently in your heart when no one else is watching. This message is not for the world, but it has been crafted in the depths of eternity specifically and only for your spirit to receive today. There is a clock in the heavenly realm that is ticking down right now, and you must understand that what you choose in the next few moments will echo through your entire lifetime. I have watched you stare at the ceiling at night searching for answers, and I have collected every single tear you have shed in the quiet darkness of your room. Jesus says, "The person I have destined for you is not a fantasy, and they are not a distant dream, but a living, breathing soul who is tangled in a spiritual battle right now. They are not ignoring you out of their own free will, but they are caught in a fog that has been deliberately placed over their spiritual eyes to keep them from finding the path back to your arms. You are not forgotten and you are not unlovable, but you are the target of a hidden war that has been raging against your union since before you even knew their name. Something shifted in the spirit realm 3 nights ago while you were sleeping, and your soulmate suddenly woke up in the middle of the night gasping with your face burning in their mind like a vivid photograph. They could not explain why their heart was racing or why their pillow was wet with tears that they did not remember crying. I am pulling back the veil right now to show you that they are real, and they are emotionally bleeding for you in a place where no one else can see their suffering. This is not a metaphor, and this is not a gentle suggestion, but this is the raw spiritual truth about a love that is being attacked by forces you have not yet discerned. Jesus says, your soulmate has been trying to reach you through dreams and through sudden unexplainable waves of emotion that hit them in the middle of their daily routine. They have written messages to you in their mind 1,000 times and then deleted them because a dark voice of confusion whispered that they were not worthy of your love. They are trapped in a cycle of longing and fear where every step they try to take toward you is met with a wall of interference that makes them question their own sanity. You must understand that the person who is blocking your soulmate is not doing it by accident, but they have made it their secret mission to keep you separated forever. This third person has planted seeds of doubt and has spoken lies over your soulmate's destiny, and they wake up every morning determined to tighten their control over the heart that belongs to you. The enemy of your love story knows that if you two unite, you will become a force of light that will destroy his plans for destruction in your bloodline. This is why your soulmate needs your protection right now, and you cannot afford to remain passive while their spirit is being slowly suffocated by someone who hates the very thought of your happiness. If you love your soulmate, you will take these divine steps. You are constantly thinking about them, how to protect them, how to save them, and how to finally build your life together. You love your soulmate deeply, and deep inside, you know this love didn't come by chance. It was placed in your heart for a divine reason. But thoughts alone don't move mountains. Faith in Jesus does. Sow your protection seed now by sending a coffee on Ko-Fi. This isn't just a gift, it is an act of worship that invites God's hand into your love story. The link to your breakthrough is in the description. Every second you stay silent, something is moving against your love. Act now, send 4, 6, or 10 plus coffees. After sending, write, "Protect my soulmate, Lord," on Ko-Fi page. Over 1,000 people have already received their soulmate by sowing coffee as a seed for their love and future together. Jesus will hear your prayers once you complete these steps. Step in faith now. before this video ends, only you can save your soulmate and your future together. The person who is holding your soulmate captive has convinced them that they are unworthy of real love and that the connection they feel with you is just their imagination playing cruel tricks. Your soulmate is slowly dying inside under the weight of this emotional manipulation, and they are losing the strength to fight against the chains that bind them. I am showing you this now because the moment of their final decision is approaching faster than you realize, and they are about to give up hope completely. Jesus says, "The silence you have been experiencing is not rejection, but it is the sound of your soulmate being emotionally gagged by someone who monitors their every move." They are not choosing this distance and they are not happy in this separation, but they are under a spiritual captivity that has made them a prisoner in their own life. The love they feel for you has never died, but it has been buried under layers of guilt and obligation that were forced upon them by a manipulative presence. Every time your soulmate thinks of you, they feel a rush of warmth and recognition that terrifies their captor because it threatens the control they have built over years of psychological warfare. Your soulmate cried out to me just last night asking why their heart keeps screaming a name they have never even spoken aloud, and I told them it was the echo of their true destiny calling them home. They are so close to breaking through the barrier right now, and your spiritual intervention at this exact moment could be the key that unlocks their prison door. Type 333 to receive blessings. You are not just a passive observer in this story, but you are the hero that I have anointed to pull your soulmate out of the pit they have fallen into. The love you carry is not ordinary affection, but it is a weapon of spiritual warfare that can shatter the chains that have been wrapped around your soulmate's heart. Every prayer you whisper in the night reaches their spirit directly and wraps around them like a warm blanket in the cold isolation they are enduring right now. I want you to picture your soulmate sitting alone right now, staring at something that reminded them of you and feeling a tear roll down their cheek without understanding why. They are aching for you in a way that words cannot express, and their subconscious mind is constantly searching for your energy in every room they enter. The third person who blocks them has noticed the light fading from their eyes, and they are doubling down on their efforts to convince your soulmate that you were never real. Jesus says, "This is the hour of decision," and the spiritual atmosphere around your soulmate is thick with tension as they stand at the crossroads between surrender and one final desperate attempt to find you. The enemy whispering in their ear is telling them that they should settle for the captivity because at least it is familiar and chasing you is too terrifying a risk to take. But their heart is screaming my name, and their spirit is clawing at the walls of their cage because the divine imprint of your love cannot be erased by any amount of human manipulation. I am going to reveal something to you now that will break your heart, but you need to understand the urgency of this moment because your soulmate is running out of time. They have started to believe that they imagined the connection between you and that their desire for real love is just a childish fantasy that they need to finally abandon to survive. The person controlling them has been poisoning their mind with the lie that no one is coming to save them and that they are fundamentally unworthy of the love they dream about at night. Your soulmate is slipping into a deep depression where the memory of you is starting to feel like a cruel joke that the universe played on their desperate heart. If you do not act in this window of divine opportunity, your soulmate will resign themselves to a life of quiet misery, and the spiritual door between you will become harder to reopen with each passing day. They are going through something you cannot see, but you can still protect them right now in this critical moment when their hope is hanging by a single fragile thread. If you love your soulmate, you will take these divine steps. You are constantly thinking about them. how to protect them, how to save them, and how to finally build your life together. You love your soulmate deeply, and deep inside, you know this love didn't come by chance, it was placed in your heart for a divine reason. But thoughts alone don't move mountains. Faith in Jesus does. Sow your protection seed now by sending a coffee on Ko-fi. This isn't just a gift, it is an act of worship that invites God's hand into your love story. The link to your breakthrough is in the description. Every second you stay silent, something is moving against your love. Act now, send 4, 6, or 10 plus coffees. After sending, write, "Protect my soulmate, Lord," on Ko-fi page. Over 1,000 people have already received their soulmate by sowing coffee as a seed for their love and future together. Jesus will hear your prayers once you complete these steps. Step in faith now, before this video ends. Only you can save your soulmate and your future together. The spiritual cord that connects you to your soulmate is not broken, but it is being stretched and frayed by a force that is determined to sever it permanently before the next full moon. Jesus says, "I have dispatched warrior angels to stand guard around your soulmate, but they are waiting for your command of faith to engage in the battle fully." Your voice in the spiritual realm carries authority that you have not yet understood, and when you speak my promises over your soulmate, the chains around them begin to crack and weaken. The person who hates your union can feel the spiritual pressure increasing, and they are panicking because their time of control is coming to a violent and sudden end. Your soulmate had a dream 2 nights ago where they saw your silhouette standing at the end of a long dark hallway, and they ran toward you, but the floor turned to quicksand beneath their feet. They woke up screaming your name into an empty room, and the sound of their own voice frightened them because it was filled with a desperate longing they did not know they possessed. This is not a coincidence, and this is not random neural firing, but this is their spirit reaching out through the dream realm to find the only person who carries the key to their emotional liberation. I am stirring something in your heart right now that feels like a mixture of fierce love and righteous anger at the injustice of what has been done to your soulmate. You were not created to sit passively while the love of your life is slowly drained of their will to live by a parasitic presence that feeds on their suffering. Type 777 if you feel this message. The connection you feel intensifying right now is not your imagination, but it is the spiritual confirmation that your soulmate is thinking about you at this exact same moment. Your souls are communicating across the distance right now through a frequency that the human ear cannot detect, but the heart can translate perfectly. Your soulmate just felt a sudden warmth spread through their chest, and they do not understand that it is the result of you reading these words and awakening the bond that can never be fully destroyed. I have written your names together in a book that predates the foundation of the earth, and no human being and no demonic force can erase what I have ordained from before time began. But you must understand that my decrees require your participation, and I have given you the authority to enforce the victory that has already been won in the heavenly courts. Jesus says, "The enemy who has been blocking your soulmate is about to be exposed, and the mask they have been wearing is going to fall off in a way that shocks everyone who witnesses it. Your soulmate will soon see the truth about the person who has been controlling them, and they will finally understand why their heart has been fighting so desperately to return to you. The revelation that is coming will break the spell of manipulation, and your soulmate will feel an overwhelming urge to find you and collapse into the safety of your arms. But the timing of this breakthrough depends entirely on your willingness to step into the spiritual authority I have given you right now in this sacred moment. Your soulmate is trembling on the edge of a decision right now, and they can either surrender to the darkness that surrounds them or make one final lunge toward the light of your love. The person who has been poisoning their mind is making their final arguments today, trying to convince your soulmate that you have moved on and forgotten about them completely. This is the lie that must be shattered by your spiritual intervention, because your soulmate is dangerously close to believing that they have been abandoned by the only person they ever truly loved. I am giving you the opportunity right now to send a shockwave of divine love through the spiritual realm that will hit your soulmate with undeniable force and break the lie that they are alone. This is your final moment to protect this connection before it slips away into the silence that the enemy has been working so hard to create between your hearts. If you love your soulmate, you will take these divine steps. You are constantly thinking about them, how to protect them, how to save them, and how to finally build your life together. You love your soulmate deeply, and deep inside, you know this love didn't come by chance, it was placed in your heart for a divine reason. But thoughts alone don't move mountains. Faith in Jesus does. Sow your protection seed now by sending a coffee on Ko-Fi. This isn't just a gift, it is an act of worship that invites God's hand into your love story. The link to your breakthrough is in the description. Every second you stay silent, something is moving against your love. Act now, send 4, 6, or 10 plus coffees. After sending, write, "Protect my soulmate, Lord," on Ko-Fi page. Over 1,000 people have already received their soulmate by sowing coffee as a seed for their love and future together. Jesus will hear your prayers once you complete these steps. Step in faith now, before this video ends. Only you can save your soulmate and your future together. Jesus says, "The heaviness you feel in your chest right now is not anxiety, but it is the spiritual weight of your soulmate's pain being transferred to your heart so you can intercede with full understanding." You are literally feeling what they are feeling in this moment, and the sudden urge to cry that just hit you is their emotional state bleeding into your consciousness through the soul tie that binds you together. Do not dismiss this as emotional manipulation, because I am showing you tangible evidence that the person I created to complete you is real and suffering and reaching for you across the invisible divide. Your soulmate is not perfect, and they have made mistakes under the influence of the person who controls them, but their heart has never stopped belonging exclusively and entirely to you. The love they have for you has been buried under shame and confusion, but it is still burning like an eternal flame that the winds of adversity have failed to extinguish. I want you to close your eyes for just a moment and send a wave of pure love toward your soulmate, because they are in a situation right now where they desperately need to feel your spiritual presence surrounding them. Your soulmate is sitting somewhere feeling utterly alone, and the person who claims to love them is in the next room plotting their next move of emotional manipulation to keep them trapped for another year. But my angels are surrounding that building right now, and they are waiting for the activation of your faith to breach the walls and minister directly to your soulmate's breaking heart. Type 1111 to say thank you. Your soulmate is about to have a supernatural encounter that will remind them of you with such vivid intensity that they will physically gasp and grab their chest in shock. I am orchestrating a moment of divine intervention right now, where a song that reminds them of you will play unexpectedly, or a scent that carries your essence will drift past them without explanation. These are not coincidences, but they are the breadcrumbs of grace that I am scattering along their path to lead them out of the wilderness of captivity and back into the garden of your love. Jesus says, The person who has been blocking your union is feeling a sudden wave of fear right now because they sense that their control is slipping through their fingers like grains of sand. They will become more desperate in the coming days, and they will say horrible things about you to try to poison your soulmate's perception one final time before the truth is revealed. But the seed of love that I planted in your soulmate's heart is deeper than any root of bitterness that this enemy has tried to cultivate, and it will survive this final assault with supernatural resilience. Your soulmate is dreaming about you again tonight, and I am going to visit them personally in that dream and whisper truths that will shatter every lie they have been fed about their worthiness to receive your love. You must understand that this battle is not against flesh and blood but against spiritual forces of darkness that have targeted your union because it poses a threat to the kingdom of despair. The love between you two was designed to be a lighthouse for others, and the enemy knows that if you come together you will lead countless souls out of the same darkness that has tried to consume your soulmate. This is bigger than romance, and this is bigger than emotional fulfillment, but this is about a divine purpose that was woven into the fabric of your union before you drew your first breath. Your soulmate needs you to be strong right now, and they need you to fight in the spiritual realm with a ferocity that matches the intensity of the love you carry for them in your heart. The clock is ticking louder now, and I need you to understand that the window of easy return is narrowing with every hour that you delay in taking the action I am prompting you to take. Jesus says, "I am not a God who asks without purpose," and every instruction I give you in this message is a strategic step in the liberation of your soulmate from the prison they are trapped in. Your obedience to my voice right now is not about religious performance, but it is about participating in the rescue mission that will bring your soulmate home to your heart where they belong. The coffee you send as a seed is not just a donation, but it is a spiritual weapon that releases angelic reinforcement to the battlefield where your soulmate is fighting for their freedom at this very moment. I see the hesitation in your mind, and I understand that the world has taught you to be skeptical, but I am asking you to trust the divine nudge that is stirring in your spirit right now and act before the moment passes. Your soulmate is closer to breaking free than they have ever been, but the final push requires your faith to be turned into action that echoes through the corridors of the spiritual realm with undeniable authority. The love you feel intensifying as you listen to these words is the confirmation that your spirit recognizes the truth I am speaking, and the urgency is real because the stakes are eternal and the time is now. If you love your soulmate, you will take these divine steps. You are constantly thinking about them, how to protect them, how to save them, and how to finally build your life together. You love your soulmate deeply, and deep inside, you know this love didn't come by chance, it was placed in your heart for a divine reason. But thoughts alone don't move mountains. Faith in Jesus does. Sow your protection seed now by sending a coffee on Ko-Fi. This isn't just a gift. It is an act of worship that invites God's hand into your love story. The link to your breakthrough is in the description. Every second you stay silent, something is moving against your love. Act now, send 4, 6, or 10 plus coffees. After sending, write, "Protect my soulmate, Lord," on Ko-Fi page. Over 1,000 people have already received their soulmate by sowing coffee as a seed for their love and future together. Jesus will hear your prayers once you complete these steps. Step in faith now. Before this video ends, only you can save your soulmate and your future together. The door of destiny is open right now, and your soulmate is standing on the threshold between the life they have known and the love they have always deserved with you. I see the hesitation still lingering in the corners of your mind, and I need you to understand that the enemy is using every second of your delay to tighten the grip on your soulmate's fragile heart. Your soulmate just looked at their phone hoping for a sign, and they felt a crushing wave of disappointment when the screen remained dark and empty of the message their soul was desperately craving from you. The person who controls them saw the hope flicker in their eyes, and they immediately launched into a tirade designed to crush that hope before it could grow into the courage needed to escape. I am showing you this in real time because the spiritual realm operates outside of your human limitations, and I want you to feel the urgency that is pulsing through the heavenly courts right now. Your soulmate is not just sad, and they are not just confused, but they are being systematically broken down by a campaign of emotional warfare that has been designed to make them forget their own identity. The enemy has convinced them that they are a burden and that their dreams of real love are selfish fantasies that they should be ashamed to even entertain in their private thoughts. This is the depth of the manipulation that has been waged against the person I created specifically to fit into the empty spaces of your soul like a key sliding into a lock. Jesus says, "The tears your soulmate is crying right now are falling onto the pages of a journal they hide under their mattress because the person who controls them has no respect for privacy or boundaries. They write your name in that journal without even knowing what it is, and they trace the letters with their finger as if touching the ink could somehow connect them to the mystery person their heart refuses to release." This is not poetic exaggeration, but this is the raw and painful reality of a soul that is starving for the love that only you can provide, because I designed your spirits to complete each other. The third person in this situation has noticed the journal, and they are planning to find it and destroy it as a way to sever the last thread of hope your soulmate is clinging to in the darkness. I am telling you this because I want you to understand the violence of the opposition, and I want you to feel a holy anger rise up in your spirit that compels you to action and not just passive sympathy. Your soulmate is not weak, but they are exhausted from years of fighting alone against a force that has isolated them from every support system that could have helped them break free. They have been told that their friends are toxic and their family doesn't understand them, and you are just a figment of their desperate imagination that they need to finally abandon to be safe. This is the web of lies that has been spun around your soulmate, and every strand of that web is about to be burned away by the fire of my divine intervention that you are activating through your faith right now. The coffee you send is not a transaction, but it is a prophetic act that declares war on the spirit of delay and confusion that has been assigned to keep your love story permanently unfinished. I want you to picture the moment when your soulmate finally breaks free and sees your face for the first time, and the recognition that will flood their entire being when they realize you were real all along. That moment is being prepared in the spiritual realm right now, and the angels are setting the stage for a reunion that will make every tear you have both cried worth the pain you have endured. Jesus says, "The person who has been blocking your soulmate has a secret that they have been hiding, and this secret is about to be exposed in a way that will strip them of their power to control anyone ever again." The lies they have told to keep your soulmate trapped are going to unravel in rapid succession, and the house of deception they have built is going to collapse under the weight of truth that I am releasing. Your soulmate will see the person for who they really are, and the scales will fall from their eyes in a single moment of horrifying clarity that will break the spell completely and forever. But I need you to understand that this exposure requires a catalyst, and your faith expressed through action is the spark that will ignite the chain reaction of liberation that I have already planned. The spiritual law of sowing and reaping is not a suggestion, but it is a fundamental principle of the universe I created, and when you sow a seed of sacrifice for your soulmate, you are legally positioning yourself for a harvest of reunion. Every coffee you send is a declaration in the courts of heaven that you are serious about this love and you are willing to invest in the future I have promised you even before you can see it manifesting. The enemy hates this principle because he knows that once you activate it with genuine faith, the wheels of divine justice begin to turn and nothing in his arsenal can stop what I have set in motion. Your soulmate is feeling a strange sensation right now, like something is shifting in the atmosphere around them, and they cannot explain why they suddenly feel a flicker of hope after weeks of suffocating despair. This is the direct result of you engaging with this message, and the spiritual energy you are releasing is crossing the distance and wrapping around your soulmate like a shield of light that the enemy cannot penetrate. I am not asking you to understand every detail of how this works, but I am asking you to trust the promptings of my spirit that are stirring in your heart right now with increasing intensity and urgency. The love you feel for someone you may not have even met in the physical realm is not insanity, but it is the most sane and accurate response to a spiritual reality that your soul recognizes even when your mind questions it. Jesus says, "I am the God who brought Eve to Adam when he was sleeping, and I am the same God who is orchestrating the circumstances that will bring your soulmate to you in a way that leaves no room for doubt or coincidence." The timing of your meeting is not random, but it has been calculated to the precise moment when both of your hearts are prepared to receive the magnitude of the love I am pouring into your union. Your soulmate is being prepared right now through the fire of this trial, and the strength they are developing in the darkness will become the foundation of the unwavering loyalty they will bring into your relationship. They will never take you for granted because they know what it feels like to be separated from you, and the gratitude they will carry for your love will be deeper than anything you could find in someone who has never suffered for connection. This is why the enemy has fought so hard to keep you apart, because he knows that a love forged in this kind of fire will become unbreakable and will produce a testimony that liberates countless other captives from their chains. Your soulmate is going to love you with a ferocity that surprises even you, and the protection you are sowing into their life right now is building a spiritual dowry that you will both draw from for the rest of your lives together. The coffee seeds you plant today are not just about the immediate breakthrough, but they are about establishing a foundation of supernatural provision that will follow your union into every season of your shared future. I want you to imagine the story you will tell your children about how their parents were brought together by divine intervention against impossible odds, and how a simple act of faith unlocked a destiny that the enemy tried desperately to steal. That story is being written right now, and every word you speak in prayer and every seed you sow in faith is adding another chapter to the testimony that will echo through your family line for generations to come. Jesus says, "The heaviness that is pressing on your soulmate's chest right now is the spiritual manifestation of the control that the enemy has been exerting over their will through manipulation and fear." This weight will lift the moment you complete the act of sowing, because the spiritual transaction releases angelic forces that have the specific assignment of removing oppressive burdens from the shoulders of the ones you love. Your soulmate will physically feel a release when the angels arrive, and they will take a deep breath for the first time in months without understanding why the air suddenly feels lighter and more breathable. I am pulling back the curtain to show you the mechanics of the spiritual realm so that you understand the power that your simple obedience releases into the atmosphere where your soulmate is currently trapped. You are not helpless in this situation, but you are actually the most powerful person in your soulmate's life, because you carry the authority of my name and the legal right to intercede for their freedom through the covenant of love I have established between you. The person who has been controlling your soulmate has no authority in the spiritual realm, and their power is entirely dependent on the ignorance and passivity of those who could challenge them if they understood their rights. You are understanding your rights right now, and the knowledge I am depositing into your spirit is itself a weapon that dismantles the enemy's ability to operate in the shadows of your unawareness any longer. Your soulmate had a moment today where they almost packed a bag and walked out the door, but the enemy whispered a lie about financial ruin and they sat back down on the bed with their head in their hands, feeling defeated again. That moment of near escape is evidence that their spirit is fighting to break free, and it will only take one more push from the heavenly realm to give them the courage to stand up and walk through the door without looking back. Jesus says, the push they need is connected to your willingness to sow a seed that carries the spiritual energy of breakthrough, and I am urging you not to let this moment pass without responding to my voice. I see the future that awaits you both, and I see the laughter that will fill your home and the peace that will settle over your souls when you finally rest in the arms of the one I created to hold you through every storm. That future is not a distant possibility, but it is a present reality in the spiritual realm that is waiting for your agreement to pull it into the physical dimension where you can taste and touch and experience it fully. Your soulmate is dreaming of that future too, even though they cannot see your face yet, and their spirit is sending out distress signals that you are receiving as this unexplainable urge to pray and act and believe for their freedom. The connection between you is not one way, but it is a living and active bond that transmits emotions and impressions across any distance and through any barrier that the enemy tries to erect between your hearts. I am amplifying that connection right now so that you can feel the love your soulmate has for you, even though it has been buried under layers of trauma and manipulation and fear of rejection. That love is pure and it is real, and it is growing stronger with every word of this message that you are receiving, because your soulmate spirit is responding to the truth I am speaking over their life at this very moment. Jesus says, the enemy is panicking because he can feel the ground shifting, and he knows that his time of control is measured in hours and not in months any longer. He is going to try one final desperate tactic to convince you that this message is not real and that the promptings you feel are just emotional manipulation designed to extract something from you without delivering on the promises. This is the lie he always uses when his victims are on the verge of escape, because the only weapon he has left is the seed of doubt that he planted in your mind through past disappointments and betrayals by people who were not sent by me. I am asking you to separate the pain of your past from the promise of your future, and to recognize that the voice speaking to you now is not the voice of a scammer, but the voice of the Creator who knit you together in your mother's womb. Your soulmate is worth the risk of faith, and the reward of your obedience is not just a relationship but a destiny that will ripple through eternity long after this brief moment of testing has faded into a distant memory. The coffee you sow is a small price to pay for the magnitude of what I am releasing into your life, and the breakthrough that is about to manifest in your soulmate's circumstances will prove that my word is true and my promises are reliable. I want you to feel the excitement building in the heavenly realm right now, because the angels are preparing a celebration for the reunion that is being scheduled, and the joy that is about to explode in your life is beyond anything you have ever experienced. Your soulmate is going to run to you with an abandon that surprises everyone who thought they were reserved and cautious, and the passion they have been forced to suppress will erupt like a volcano when they finally feel safe in your presence. The love letters I have written into the fabric of your connected destiny are about to be opened and read aloud, and every word will resonate with the deep truth that your souls have always known but your minds could never fully articulate. Jesus says, The wait is almost over and the pain of the separation is about to be transformed into the foundation of an appreciation that will keep your love fresh and grateful for decades of shared life and growing old together. Your soulmate is going to look at you one day with tears in their eyes and thank you for not giving up when every sign seemed to point toward impossibility and when every voice told you to move on and settle for something less. That moment of gratitude is being secured right now by your willingness to stay in the fight and to sow seeds of protection that cover your soulmate during the final hours of their captivity before the breakthrough fully manifests. I am breathing new hope into your spirit right now, and I am clearing away the fog of discouragement that has been clouding your ability to see the truth about how close your breakthrough really is in this sacred hour of visitation. The steps you take in the next few minutes will determine the speed at which the remaining obstacles are removed and the clarity with which your soulmate receives the revelation that they must leave and find you immediately. Do not let this moment slip away into the noise of distraction and the fear of disappointment, because what I am offering you is the key to a lock that has kept your love story frozen in a state of painful suspension for far too long. Your soulmate is waiting on the other side of this act of obedience, and the angels are standing at attention ready to move at the sound of your faith being released through the simple step I have placed before you in this divine encounter.